8-year-old Emma stared at 5 wealthy, glamorous women sitting in her father's mansion. They sparkled with diamonds and designer dresses, all wanting to marry the millionaire widower. But Emma's heart turned to Grace, their kind housekeeper, who had loved her unconditionally for years. Before watching full story, comment below from where are you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. Mr. William Carter stood by the tall windows of his mansion, looking out at the beautiful garden. He was one of the richest men in the city, but his heart felt empty. His wife had died 3 years ago, leaving him alone with his 8-year-old daughter, Emma. The big house felt cold and lonely, even with all its expensive furniture and paintings. Emma was a sweet child with bright blue eyes and golden hair. She was smart and kind, but she missed her mother every day. Mr. Carter watched his daughter play alone in the garden and felt sad. He wanted to give her a complete family again. Emma needs a mother, he thought. And I need a wife. Mr. Carter was a successful businessman. Many women wanted to marry him because of his money and status. He had met several wealthy, beautiful women at parties and social events. They all seemed perfect on paper, rich, educated, and glamorous. But something felt wrong. None of them seemed to really care about Emma. One evening, Mr. Carter made a decision. He would let Emma choose her own stepmother. After all, she would have to live with this woman every day. Who better to decide than Emma herself? He called his daughter to his study. The room was filled with books and expensive furniture. Emma sat in the big leather chair, her small feet dangling above the floor. Emma, sweetheart, Mr. Carter began, I want to ask you something important. Would you like to have a new mother? Emma looked at her father with serious eyes. Will she love me like Mama did? That's what we need to find out, her father said gently. I want you to choose. I will invite 5 ladies to spend time with us this week. You can talk to them, play with them, and see who you like best. The one you choose will become your new mother. Emma nodded slowly. She wasn't sure about this, but she trusted her father. The next day, Mr. Carter invited 5 women to the house. Each would spend one day with the family. The first woman was Mrs. Victoria Sterling. She wore expensive jewelry and a beautiful dress. Her hair was perfect, and her makeup looked like a movie star's. When she met Emma, she smiled a bright, fake smile. Hello, little Emma, Mrs. Sterling said in a sweet voice that didn't sound real. Would you like to see the pretty dress I bought for you? Emma tried on the dress. It was beautiful but uncomfortable. Mrs. Sterling spent the whole day talking about expensive things, cars, houses, jewelry, and trips to fancy places. She didn't ask Emma what she liked to do or what made her happy. During lunch, Mrs. Sterling complained about the food. This soup is too cold, she said rudely to the servers. Emma noticed how mean she was to the helpers in the house. The second woman was Miss Patricia Goldwyn. She was younger and very beautiful. She had long red hair and green eyes. She brought Emma expensive toys and games. I love children, Ms. Goldwyn said, but she was always checking her phone. When Emma wanted to play, Ms. Goldwyn said, Let me finish this call first, dear. Emma showed her the flowers in the garden, but Ms. Goldwyn was more interested in taking pictures of herself with the flowers. She didn't really listen when Emma talked about her favorite butterflies or the birds that visited their garden. The third woman was Mrs. Charlotte Richmond. She was very smart and talked about art and books. She wore glasses and looked serious. Emma should learn French and piano, she told Mr. Carter. And she needs better books. These children's stories are too simple. Mrs. Richmond made Emma feel stupid. She used big words that Emma didn't understand and got impatient when Emma asked questions. The fourth woman was Miss Diana Blackwood. She was the most beautiful of all, with dark hair and perfect skin. She acted very sweet and brought expensive gifts. I will be the best mother ever, she promised Mr. Carter. But when he left the room, she ignored Emma completely. She spent her time looking at herself in mirrors and talking on her phone about parties and shopping. Emma felt sad after meeting each woman. None of them seemed to really care about her. They all wanted to marry her father, but they didn't want to be her mother. On Friday, the last day, Emma sat in the kitchen feeling confused and lonely. She didn't want any of these women to be her mother. They were all pretty and rich, but something was missing. You look sad, little one, said a warm voice. Emma looked up and saw Mrs. Grace Washington, their housekeeper. Grace was a black woman in her 40s with kind brown eyes and a gentle smile. She had worked for the Carter family for 5 years, since before Emma's mother died. Grace sat down next to Emma. Want to tell me what's wrong? Emma started crying. Daddy wants me to choose a new mother from those ladies, but none of them really like me. They only like Daddy's money. Grace hugged Emma gently. Oh, sweetheart. That must be so hard for you. Grace had been like a second mother to Emma for years. When Emma was sick, Grace stayed up all night taking care of her. When Emma had nightmares, Grace came to comfort her. When Emma was happy, Grace celebrated with her. When Emma was learning to read, Grace helped her with difficult words. Grace never had much money, but she always had time for Emma. She taught Emma how to bake cookies, how to plant flowers, and how to be kind to others. Grace told Emma stories about her own childhood and listened to all of Emma's dreams and fears. "Grace," Emma said suddenly, "why can't you be my new mother?" Grace smiled sadly. "Oh, honey, I don't think your daddy would want that. I'm just the housekeeper. Those ladies are rich and important." "But you love me," Emma said. "Really love me. Not because of daddy's money but because of me." That evening Mr. Carter called Emma to his study again. The 5 women sat in chairs around the room, all dressed beautifully and smiling at Emma. "Well, Emma," her father said, "have you made your choice?" Emma looked at each woman. Mrs. Sterling was checking her expensive watch. Ms. Goldwyn was looking at her phone. Mrs. Richmond looked bored. Miss Diana was fixing her hair in a small mirror. "Yes, Daddy," Emma said in a clear, strong voice. "I choose Grace." The room became very quiet. The 5 women looked shocked and angry. "The housekeeper?" Mrs. Sterling said with disgust. "That's impossible. She's not even wealthy," Ms. Goldwyn added. "This is ridiculous," Mrs. Richmond said. "The child doesn't know what she's saying." Mr. Carter looked surprised too. "Emma, are you sure? Grace isn't, she's not like these other ladies." "You're right, Daddy," Emma said. "Grace is better. She loves me when I'm sick and when I'm happy. She helps me when I'm scared and plays with me when I'm lonely. She teaches me important things like how to be kind and how to help others. These ladies only care about money and pretty things. Grace cares about me." The 5 women started talking at once, saying angry things about Grace and Emma's choice. But Mr. Carter held up his hand for silence. He looked at his daughter's serious face. Emma was young but she was wise. In her innocent way, she had seen what he had missed. These women wanted his money and status, but they didn't want to be a real mother to Emma. Then Mr. Carter thought about Grace. She had been wonderful to his family. When his wife was dying, Grace stayed late every night to help. After his wife died, Grace helped Emma with her grief. Grace never asked for extra money or special treatment. She just loved and cared for their family. "Emma," Mr. Carter said slowly, "you're absolutely right." The 5 women left the house angry and disappointed. They had wasted their time trying to win over a millionaire, only to lose to a housekeeper. That evening Mr. Carter found Grace in the kitchen, cleaning up after dinner. "Grace," he said, "can we talk?" Grace looked nervous. "Yes, sir." "If this is about what Emma said, I never asked her to." "Grace," Mr. Carter interrupted gently, "Emma chose you to be her mother. And I think she chose perfectly." Grace stared at him in surprise. "I've been looking for someone to marry," Mr. Carter continued, "but I was looking at the wrong things. I wanted someone rich and beautiful and impressive. But Emma saw what really matters. She saw your heart." Mr. Carter took Grace's hands. "You've been more of a mother to Emma than anyone could be. You've been loyal and kind and loving to our family. Grace, would you marry me? Not because I'm rich but because we could be a real family?" Grace had tears in her eyes. "But sir, Mr. Carter, people will talk. I'm just a housekeeper. I don't have money or education or—" "You have something more valuable than all of that," Mr. Carter said. "You have love. Real honest love. And you've given it to Emma and me freely for years." Emma came running into the kitchen. She had been listening from the hallway. "Grace," she cried, hugging the woman who had cared for her so well. "Please say yes. Please be my new mother." Grace looked at this little girl she loved so much, and at the man who was offering her a real family. She had always dreamed of having children of her own, but she never thought it would happen like this. "Yes," Grace whispered. "Yes, I will marry you." Emma cheered and danced around the kitchen. Mr. Carter smiled wider than he had in years. The wedding was simple and beautiful. Some of Mr. Carter's rich friends were shocked that he married his housekeeper, but the people who really mattered were happy for them. Grace's family and friends came, and they welcomed Mr. Carter and Emma with open arms. Emma got the mother she had always wanted, someone who loved her truly and completely. Mr. Carter got a wife who cared about family more than money. And Grace got the family she had always dreamed of. The mansion became a real home filled with laughter, love, and happiness. Grace continued to cook and clean, but now she did it as the lady of the house. She used Mr. Carter's wealth to help other families in need, just as she had always helped others when she had very little. Emma grew up knowing that the most important things in life, love, kindness, loyalty and family, cannot be bought with money. She learned this lesson from a wise 8-year-old's choice and from a woman whose heart was richer than any bank account. Years later, when Emma became a woman herself, she would tell people that the best decision her father ever made was letting her choose her own mother. And the best choice she ever made was choosing love over luxury, heart over wealth, and grace over glamour. The story of the Carter family became famous in their city, not because of Mr. Carter's money but because of their love. It reminded everyone that true wealth comes from the people who love us, care for us, and stand by us through all of life's joys and sorrows. Sometimes the most important choices are made not by adults with all their complicated thinking, but by children who see clearly with their hearts.